Section 3. You will hear part of a conversation between two students who are studying aviation technology and their instructor. They are discussing supersonic air travel. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
I read the article you gave us, Mr. Simmons, and I'd like to know what SST stands for.
Well, Natalie, SST is an abbreviation for supersonic transport, and the term is used when talking about passenger aircraft that can fly faster than the speed of sound. That's faster than a speeding bullet, by the way.
Are there really commercial airliners that fly that fast? I mean, could I fly to visit my cousins in America tomorrow on a supersonic passenger jet?
No, not at present, but you could have done so 25 years ago if you had booked a seat on Concorde.
Concorde? What's that?
It was the world's first supersonic passenger plane, Garth, and it flew across the Atlantic from London and Paris to the USA and Barbados. It was designed and built jointly by France and Britain and made its first commercial flight in 1976. With a cruising speed of around 2,200 kilometers an hour, it had a crew of 9 and could carry around 100 passengers.
2,200 kilometers an hour? Wow, that's over twice the speed of sound.
Yes, and this capability reduced travel time on certain trips by over 50%.
So why can't Natalie travel to America on Concorde if she wants to?
Because the planes were retired from service in October 2003 after a tragic crash in 2000, which claimed the lives of 113 people.
Is there any hope that SST can make a comeback sometime soon, Mr. Simmons?
Yes, but before that happens, Garth, certain problems have to be resolved concerning design, fuel consumption, and economy. And if Concorde were still flying today, Natalie probably wouldn't be able to afford a ticket.
I heard that.
Well, you heard right. Only the very privileged could travel on Concorde. Back then, a transatlantic two-way flight cost around $12,000, which was a lot of money for an airline ticket.
I bet only the very rich could afford a trip like that. Is that what you mean by the very privileged?
Exactly. But as I said, certain problems have to be resolved if we hope to enjoy affordable supersonic flights in the future. One of which is the sonic boom that can be heard for miles when supersonic planes break the sound barrier.
Oh, you mean that loud noise that sounds like a thunderclap? I remember hearing it when I was a child, when military jets flew over the town I lived in. The windows of the house would rattle, and the lights hanging from the ceiling would sway to and fro after the sonic boom. It was really frightening.
Well, that boom follows a plane the entire time it goes faster than the speed of sound. What happened with Concorde was that the noise and vibrations were so disturbing to people living along its flight path that most countries banned Concorde aircraft from flying over land, allowing them to fly only over the sea. So now, aircraft manufacturers are working to reduce the sonic boom through changes in design. If they are successful, the ban will be lifted, which will open up more travel routes and eventually make supersonic flights cheaper and more accessible to the public.
People would certainly appreciate shorter flight times because a lot of time is wasted in the air when travelling. The last time I flew to the States, I was stuck next to a mother and her crying baby for 7 hours.
That's true. People definitely want to get where they're going to faster nowadays. After all, time is money in today's hectic world. And that's why aerospace companies are presently involved in a race to release the first supersonic private jet, so that business executives don't waste as much time in the air. You see, supersonic transport will probably first appear in private jets. These types of aircraft will be available for hire to companies and private individuals and will seat up to 20 passengers.
Once again, only the very privileged will be able to afford a ticket.
Unfortunately, that will be the case in the short and medium term. However, ticket prices will eventually drop as the technology becomes cheaper and more widely available.
So, in a few years' time, we'll be able to travel faster than the speed of sound for the price of a regular ticket.
I don't think prices will drop as much as that, Garth. And nobody expects budget airline companies to start offering SST as soon as it's reintroduced. In fact, low-cost airlines aren't expected to offer supersonic transport. Not in your lifetime, anyway.